My name is Rebecca Seaver. I work for Dolly as her Director of Archive Services. So basically, if you need anything out of her archives, I'm the person you come to. Dolly is my aunt. Her and my mom are sisters. And so I have grown up in these clothes. I've played dress up. I've borrowed shoes. I'm sitting in Lipscomb University in the library. We are doing an exhibit called Dolly Parton and the Makers. Lipscomb University has a fashion department, and every year they do an exhibit called something along the lines of the Makers to highlight the people behind different fashion looks. This year we're doing Dolly. When the book was coming out, it seemed like the perfect launch for this, and so the exhibit runs until December 9th, and it's basically just a 3-month-long launch party for our book. And we're really excited. Some of these pieces have never been seen before on display. And it's really, it's going to tell a really beautiful story, and people can get really up close and personal with some of the things that she has worn, but also the process of how it comes together and the people behind that, because it takes an entire village to look that cheap. The archives are pretty much expansive of Dolly's entire career once she came to Nashville. The earliest piece we have is from 1967. So we have a lot of those earlier Porter Wagner show pieces. She has the vast majority of those that were made. And a lot of people think that those were made by Nudie Cohn, who was a famous Western wear designer. She didn't have that kind of money back then, and she still wanted to sparkle and shine like her counterparts, but she was using a local designer named Lucy Adams, as well as other designers around town. The book, Behind the Seams, came because we wanted to do a follow-up after her Songteller book that came out in 2020. And I kind of had this idea to do a costume book that would follow as its companion and tell the story of the costumes rather than the lyrics in the way that the other book did. In Dolly's costume collection, she wears things multiple times sometimes, or she will have something altered and changed so that she can wear it again and it be a little bit different. And so for me as an archivist, that's hard because sometimes I'll find a piece of a dress and I can't find the rest of it. And so I'm trying to piece all these, parts together to figure out the story. And that's one of the most challenging things, is saying, I have this gorgeous photo of her from 1995 in this gown, but I can't find it. Well, the gown, like the one on the cover of the book, it turned out that she had had it altered to be a short performance dress so that she could wear it on tour after she had worn it in the gown form. So that's one of the hard parts, is trying to figure out the little treasure hunt of how this garment went from the first time it was worn until the third or fourth if she had alterations. People are dying to know if Dolly buys off the rack, and yes, she does. It has to be altered though. She can't just buy it off the rack and put it on because her figure is too specific. I think the hardest part about being in charge of Dolly Parton's archival collection is just the amount of pressure that comes with it, because every piece you pull off the rack is a piece of history, and it's a piece of her story. And you want to make the boss proud. She's always doing the best and the most, so you never want to let the queen down.